Hey everybody, it's Gina here from Gina Makes It. In today's Graphic Fairies video, I am sharing my new design team member journal that I created for the month of April. This is a journal that I am calling Star Notes, and I've created it to further a study in astronomy. I've always been very interested in astronomy, but I never really have felt too learned in the area, and so I thought, after looking at all of the beautiful star themed bundles in the premium membership site, I thought that I would create this. I created this moon using some vintage textiles that I just kind of tore apart and glued down onto a moon frame, and then I did a little bit of sewing on it. And I also created the cover using a blue book cover that I found by doing a search in the premium membership site. So this is a soft cover journal, and inside I just have a little pocket with some ephemera stuck in the side, and I have a piece of vintage lace running down the side. Now, if you follow me on YouTube or Instagram, or you kind of know my style, I don't do a lot of decorating with my journals to start off with, because I feel like that sort of creates a creative box for me, and it's hard for me to kind of climb out of that box as I'm working through my journal. I did start working in this journal already, so this is my first page. I took a picture of the sky and I added a little quote from one of the kits that I used. I must say that I primarily used 3 kits to create this journal. I used Luna, the Magical Queen, Endless Skies, and Celestial Images. And you can see I'm just kind of charting the phases of the moon. I added a little bit of painting, and that's kind of how I'm going to use this journal. There are so many beautiful images in these 3 kits, and they all blend so well together. That's what is so beautiful about using the bundles from the Graphic Fairy site, is that they're all able to be used together. So here is a little bit of a watercolor of a moon that I did after looking at the moon and taking a picture and kind of charting down the day. I'm not going to do this every day, but it is something I'm going to try and do at least once a week. And I'm also going to add vocabulary terms and just all sorts of different information as it pertains to the sky. So when it gets a little warmer out, I'll be well informed and able to bore everyone to death with all of my knowledge. So this is a little flip up that I created using that Luna the Magical Queen bundle. And like I said before, I intermixed all of the papers. I will say, for the most part, I printed all of the papers on a cotton linen blend. I just like how soft the paper is after you print out. And I should say not how soft the paper is, but how soft the image is after you print them out. I also incorporated a lot of coffee dyed paper because I know I'm going to be doing a lot of writing in this journal as well. And another thing that I want to point out that I feel is kind of important is that I also created this journal using the open spine method, and this is going to allow me to pull papers out and really work on them and rearrange them if I have to. I incorporated a lot of vintage lace like this at the bottom of this beautiful vintage planetarium drawing. I also did a little bit of sewing with my sewing machine and created a pocket out of a book cover that didn't go very well the first time around, and so of course I like to save those scraps and add them to my pages. I also added this beautiful picture of these 3 women, this very celestial image with this vintage lace with some handwork done at the top of it. I also like to paper clip or use some masking tape to add elements to my journal at this stage, and so it's not cemented in that it has to stay there. So as I'm working through it, I can decide exactly how it is that I want to use these elements. This is a piece of vintage linen that I added to the bottom of this page, and I'm not sure if I'm going to turn this into a pocket or if it's going to just end up being some sort of an embellishment. There were a lot of circular images within these 3 kits, and so they really lend themselves to adding side tucks or pockets to each page. I'm not sure if I'm going to tuck pictures in or what I'm going to do, but I'm showing you here how I did create that open spine using just a coffee dyed piece of string that I had in my stash. And like I mentioned before, that's going to give me the flexibility to really pull my pages in and out as I'm working through it. I added some page toppers using some scraps in my stash. This is another beautiful add-on to one of the bundles, and it's some images that on some notebook paper it looks like, and it's really faded, and so I just kind of pinned it to the top and added it as a flip out to one of those coffee dyed pages. There was a lot of constellation signs within these kits, which I really like because that's another area that I really want to become familiar with. Unfortunately, we have a lot of light pollution by our house, but I'm hoping to use this knowledge to kind of see through that pollution and be able to identify things in the night sky by just 1 or 2 stars. I can't get over how gorgeous these images are within these kits. I am just so drawn to these vintage science sketches. I love them so much, especially this last one on the inside cover. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this image, and I'm not sure how I'm going to use it at this point, but I did a little bit of sewing around the edges and I just glued it to the back. So that's going to wrap up this journal flip through. I will be working in this journal periodically on my YouTube channel at Gina Makes It if you're interested in seeing how I further my star study. Thanks for watching.